For residential and commercial construction services you can trust, call Delta Contracting and Design Incorporated in Strattonville today at 814-764-5506. Or if it's concrete and excavating work you need done, then call Ace Concrete and Excavating at 814-764-5551. More on both Delta Contracting and Design and Ace Concrete and Excavating can be found at delcondesign.com. That's DELCON design.com. As you approach retirement, it is important to accumulate assets and build a financial plan that can sustain your lifestyle during your golden years. While calculating the cost of your changing income needs can be daunting, our Retirement Income Evaluator can help you develop a roadmap for the future. To learn more, stop by our office located at 162 South 2nd Avenue in Clarion. Give us a call at 814-223-9990 or visit JanneyClarion.com. Janney Montgomery Scott, LLC, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC. Looking for affordable auto, home, and life insurance? Look no further than Allstate Insurance, the David Jones Agency in Clarion and Meadville. At the David Jones Agency, you get personalized attention from someone who lives where you do. The David Jones Agency meets you where you are. They are available during regular business hours, Monday through Friday at their office, via appointment at the office after hours, or remotely. The David Jones Agency also offers investment opportunities, including annuities and IRAs. The David Jones Agency can be reached in Clarion at 814-223-4000 and in Meadville at 814-337-5107. Buying, selling, or building a home? Then call Burford and Henry Real Estate today at 814-227-7355. For more than 15 years, Burford and Henry Real Estate Realtors have been ready to help you in your next property search. They are also the #1 agency selling more homes in the region than anyone else. And with their Showcase Homes divisions, their expert consultants can help you with building the home of your dreams. Check out Burford and Henry online at burfordandhenry.com. Burford and Henry Real Estate Services, something different. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Janney Montgomery Scott in Clarion QR Coaches Chalkboard post-game show here in the postseason in District 9 and District 10. I'm Chris Rossetti. I'm joined by my special guest, Steve Buttery. Again, Jess Quinn will be back with me tomorrow night, but Steve and I were here in Brockway, PA tonight to watch Montauk defeat Coudersport 50-38 in the District 9 Class 2A girls semifinals. In the other semifinal game at Clarion High School, it was all Red Bank Valley, 60-16 over Keystone. Those teams will meet on Saturday at Tippin Gym in Clarion for the District 9 title. Earlier tonight at Tippin Gym in a sub-regional game, it was all DuBois 44, Obama Academy 37. That's on the boys' side. 5A sub-regional, DuBois will meet Cathedral Prep for a state playoff berth, and Otto Eldred and Single A girls defeated DuBois Central Catholic 61-40, and Elk County Catholic right now is up big
20 with 48 seconds to go.
On North Clarion. It's 49-30, I guess, with just under a minute to play. So it's going to be Otto Eldred and Elk County Catholic in the championship game. Steve, let's roll back around to a game that we just witnessed in broadcast here at DuBois or at Brockway High School, where 50-38, and man, I don't know how to describe what we saw, but it started out slow, like both teams hadn't played in a while, which they hadn't. 2 weeks for Coudersport, about 10 days for Montauk. Montauk got up though by 14, 32-18 in the third quarter, and then putting on a press. Coudersport came all the way back, made it a 3-point game, had a couple of shots to tie the game. They wouldn't go, and then slowly Montauk pulled back away for the 12-point win, but really turned out to be a pretty good basketball game.
It did. It was someone came up and said, the beginning was boring, and I wouldn't say boring, but like you said, slow. But, Montauk, like the press, I was shocked that it gave them as much trouble as it did here in the second half, because they were handling Coudersport's defense pretty easy. And then they put that on, and it was 4 quick points that turned that tide, and it got to within 3?
Yeah, on an Emma Chambers 3-pointer, and then Kendall Sankey had a big got fouled, a big 3-point play on the. I don't remember if she made the free throw or not, but big play on the other end, and Kendall Sankey had herself a game, 18 points, 13 rebounds, 6 steals, Steve, and she was all over the court.
It was a mammoth game for her, because without her tonight, this does not turn out. She kept that team like grounded when it looked like it was getting out of hand and they might lose, or they might lose the lead there. Kendall Sankey came through and was big for them. She was all game, but the end was huge. Making free throws, like you were saying, you know how they had struggled coming into this game, Montauk, and Kendall Sankey was 4 for 5 tonight, and down the stretch was really big, and just a monster game out of her to get them into the final to face Red Bank.
Yeah, she was named the Allegheny Grill of Foxburg Player of the Game, and I had a chance to catch up with Kendall after the game, and this is what she had to say about her performance and their big win. We're here on the Janney Montgomery Scott in Clarion QR code coaches show with Kendall Sankey of the Montauk Lady Warriors after Montauk defeats Brockway. Defeats Countersport 50-38 at Brockway. Kendall, 18 points, 13 rebounds, 6 steals in a game where your season's on the line. Talk about what you were feeling out there tonight.
Well, we knew going into it that it was going to be a tough game because they're all my size. So definitely, like, being on the boards and, like, being wherever we can at the right time, like, we definitely had to be there. And then we didn't want this to be our last game of the season, so we came into it with a good attitude. And we just wanted to play our hearts out, and I think that showed tonight.
You guys started out, it was kind of a back and forth, and you were able to get that lead in the third quarter up to 14 points. They make a run at you, get it within 3. What are you guys telling each other at that point in time?
Kind of just like get out of our heads. Like we can't fix anything that happened. You know, we just need to move forward and like not let it happen again.
Talk about the resilience of this team to not allow that to get you guys so far down that they were able to come all the way back.
It definitely was a challenge, but like I think we just had the mentality that like we wanted this game, so I think that showed.
You get Red Bank Valley for a 4th time.
Yeah.
You know, the first time you guys had them at their place.
Yeah, we did.
The second time was, you know, maybe if you don't turn the ball over, shoot a little better from the free throw line, it's a close game. Third time, not so much. What have you guys learned from those first 3?
Definitely, like, we don't need to have unforced turnovers because that's a lot of our problem. And then just getting inside and, like, shutting Miley down is a big thing that we need to do, too. But overall, Red Bank's just a really good game, so I think any given night, anything can happen.
Well, good luck on Saturday. Congratulations on getting to the championship game.
Thank you.
As you approach retirement, it is important to accumulate assets and build a financial plan that can sustain your lifestyle during your golden years. While calculating the cost of your changing income needs can be daunting, our Retirement Income Evaluator can help you develop a roadmap for the future. To learn more, stop by our office located at 162 South 2nd Avenue in Clarion. Give us a call at 814-223-9990 or visit JanneyClarion.com. Janney Montgomery Scott, LLC, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC. Buying, selling, or building a home? Then call Burford & Henry Real Estate today at 814-227-7355. For more than 15 years, Burford & Henry Real Estate Realtors have been ready to help you in your next property search. They are also the #1 agency selling more homes in the region than anyone else. And with their Showcase Homes divisions, their expert consultants can help you with building the home of your dreams. Check out Burford & Henry online at burfordandhenry.com. Burford & Henry Real Estate Services, something different. Back here in Brockway, and right there before we went to break, Steve, we heard from Kendall Sankey about what it would take to beat Red Bank Valley, and the Lady Bulldogs tonight. It's like 12-5 at the end of the first quarter, and then they outscored them 48-11 the rest of the way, and 18 points out of Miley Harmon, 10 out of Kaylin Rearick. If you're DR Blaster and you're trying to come up with a game plan for Saturday, what does that game plan include?
That game plan includes you gotta take the air out of that ball against Red Bank. You can't let them between boxing out Huffman, who's going to get the ball up to Harmon there and get him running. You take care of the boards. Rebounding is crucial, like they did tonight. You'll slow Red Bank. You're not going to stop them, but you have to slow the pace of the game. If not, they're going to run away, and they haven't met anyone yet in D9 that can stop that. And
Montauk did do a lot of that the first time, though, Steve. I mean, they played that game in the 30s. They did everything they needed to do to win, and then Miley Harmon took over at the end. That was back in December. You know, I think that they can't get into a track meet. That's first and foremost. They got to play that. They want that game to be played in the 30s or 40s. They want to make Red Bank make shots, make Red Bank maybe feel uncomfortable a little bit. All things that hasn't really happened for the Lady Bulldogs very often this year. And if they can do that, then maybe they've got a shot at pulling the upset. And let's not kid ourselves. That would be an upset.
It would be a big upset. I mean, and, you know, Red Bank will come in more than likely. They know they're the odds-on favorite to win that. And Montauk, play that underdog. Don't put any pressure on them. Go leave it all on the court and give everything they can, you know. And it's possible, but it would be a big upset, definitely.
And then any other girls championship game on Saturday, it'll be Otto Eldred, Elk County Catholic. They played a 4-point game at Otto back in December. Otto Eldred all over DuBois Central Catholic, 61-40. And Elk struggled for about a quarter and a half, and then they went on, I think it was a 14-2 run, and on their way to what'd you say the final of that game was, Steve? 51-40 or 30, I think. 51-30. Katie Sheeler for Otto Eldred tonight against DuBois Central Catholic, 32 points. Can anybody stop her at this point in time?
It doesn't seem so, but, you know, Elk County, they'll, you know, Ken Pisner, very good coach. He'll come up with a game plan to do the best he can at Sloaner. I mean, last year in the district final, they had her stopped, and then she went off in the fourth to make that a really close game again. And the key isn't to stopping her as much as just limiting her. She's going to score, limit what she gets, and don't let everyone else score in that team.
Yeah, Anna Mary had 14 tonight, I think, as well, which you know, but the 32 from Sheeler, I mean, coming off of a 30-point game in which she set the school record for career scoring, that's 62 points in 2 playoff games. She's, you know, I thought back in December, in end of January, that Miley Harmon had pulled away a little bit in the Player of the Year race, but I think that race is back to being a dead heat again.
I would agree with you. I did that game where we were talking about that, and that was the Red Bank DuBois Central game. And now, yeah, it is a dead heat. She has stepped it up like she did last year in playoff time. She stepped it up and took herself to another level. And it's fun to watch. As long as you're not on the opposing team.
Now, what did Otto learn from last year's loss that they can maybe take into this year and flip that script against Elk County Catholic, which is coming in looking to be back-to-back champions for the second time? They did that in 9 and 10, looking to, I think it was 9 and 10 or 10 and 11.
9 and 10.
Yeah, 9 and 10. And what can they, you know, that's an experienced team, all juniors again. I mean, that's a team that's got a chance to maybe etch its name into one of those like really nice runs of like 2 or 3 in a row in like, you know, the North Clarion Unions, Countersports, those schools. You know, they're just so well balanced. Sammy Straub and Lucy Clavoon, Sid Alexander, Emily Maurer, and Tori Newton, just give them a really well balanced group of juniors that feel like they're like in their 18th year there.
It does, and they're a well-oiled machine. Elk County, you know, they're disciplined. They're going to play disciplined basketball. But for Otto Eldred, I mean, going in, what did they learn? They learned that they can beat that team. You know, I think they went in last year maybe not as confident as they should have been. They hung with them, and this year, we were talking earlier. I think it's going to be one of the best championship games on Saturday because both teams very good. I mean, Elk County. It's going to be tough to beat them because playoff time and championship time is a different level as the lights go off and on here. But, you know, Elk County, they are experienced, like you said, and I've had many opportunities to see them. They don't make many mistakes.
You know, we're just talking about it. Lucy Clavoon tonight, 15 points, 10 points out of Emily Maurer, 9 points out of Tori Newton, 8 points out of Sid
So
Alexander,
even.
5 points out of Sammy Straub. Steve, Sammy Straub, is that the player that really makes that team stir, though? If she plays that point guard, she doesn't score as much as the rest of them. But every time I watch them play, I feel like she's the key player for that team.
Well, she's a true point guard. And you don't see many of them in high school, a true point guard that is out there to distribute the ball, run the offense, and keep everybody settled. And Sammy does a great job of that. And, if she can play a game like she did tonight, she doesn't have to get into double digits or score a ton. She just has to be consistent, run the offense. And I think El County comes out ahead because look at, you just said, it's like even scoring. Whereas like with El County, you have to stop all 5. In Otto, they have a couple. It's not just Sheeler with them. They have a couple girls, but it's easier to stop a couple than it is that entire 5 from El County for sure.
No question. See, when we come back, we'll talk about that Du Bois win over Obama Academy, which I think is a really big win for a young team. You're watching the Janney Montgomery Scott in Clarion QR Coaches Chalkboard post-game show on the YDL Sports Network. We'll be back after these messages. Looking for affordable auto, home, and life insurance? Look no further than Allstate Insurance, the David Jones Agency in Clarion and Meadville. At the David Jones Agency, you get personalized attention from someone who lives where you do. The David Jones Agency meets you where you are. They are available during regular business hours, Monday through Friday at their office, via appointment at the office after hours, or remotely. The David Jones Agency also offers investment opportunities, including annuities and IRAs. The David Jones Agency can be reached in Clarion at 814-223-4000 and in Meadville at 814-337-5107. For residential and commercial construction services you can trust, call Delta Contracting and Design Incorporated in Strattonville today at 814-764-5506. Or if it's concrete and excavating work you need done, then call Ace Concrete and Excavating at 814-764-5551. More on both Delta Contracting and Design and Ace Concrete and Excavating can be found at delcondesign.com. That's DELCON design.com. Back here on the Janney Montgomery Scott and Clarion QR Code Coaches Chalkboard Show. Score update, Karn City was leading Kane 22-15 after 3 in the District 9 3A Girls Championship game. Winner, that's going to have to play the winner of Bedford and, or not Bedford, Chestnut Ridge and Westinghouse. That game was going on tonight. Let's see if we can get a score on that, Steve, real quick here for folks. Do a quick search of the old Twitter machine here and see if Chestnut Ridge, Westinghouse managed to make it into the old Twitter machine tonight.
That score in that championship actually surprises me, that it's that close between Carnes and Kane.
I am. I'm not finding one real quick in the old Twitter machine. So no joy for that. It doesn't look like here. So we're just gonna have to wait out and see what. Well, wait a second. What do we have here? No, we have a 7 o'clock. Let's see. Did we get anything here? No. Don't have anything on that yet. So anybody knows that score, just pass it along. Until then, we'll talk about Du Bois defeating Obama Academy 44-37. That's a sub-regional game in 5A boys. Really felt based on some similar scores that maybe Obama had a little bit of an advantage in that game, Steve. But give the Beavers credit. They came out with a young team and got a big win in that game. They were down 33-29 going to the fourth quarter and rallied to win 44-37 as it was no surprise here. Tyler Kennis led the way in that fourth quarter for Du Bois. He had, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of his 19 in that fourth quarter to help the Beavers rally and beat Obama Academy. And how big of a win is that for Dave Bennett and group?
That's a huge win for them. I mean, like you said, a young team and, moving forward for them, regardless what happens in the next game, to get into that sub-regional and win a game with as young a team as he has. I remember talking to Dave at the beginning of the year, And he said, we got some talent. We'll see where it goes from here. He wasn't too sure. And then to come out and get a big win over Obama Academy like that, it's a huge thing for that program moving forward.
No question. And, they're going to take on Cathedral Prep. That's a really good Cathedral Prep team they're going to face. One that's been ranked high in the state all year. Won the state championship for the first time in 25 years, 2 years ago. It really, it's going to be a tough task because Steve Petrovich, the young head coach up there at Prep, really seems to have things going well for the Ramblers. And boy, they'd have been a lot better. They had a kid, Khalil Horton, who was a sophomore 2 years ago on that state championship team. He transferred out. So for all the people that always argue about guys transferring in, he transferred out to a prep school down in Tennessee. If they had him this year, I mean, look out.
They probably would be unstoppable in the state here, but fortunately for Du Bois, he did transfer out because I mean, Cathedral Prep, it's a tall task for Du Bois. It sure is. I mean, it's a, like you said, or state championship 2 years ago, always like perennial, like powerhouse, good team up there, and regardless of the outcome, it'll be good experience for Du Bois.
A lot of basketball still to come this week, Steve. We've got tomorrow night at Tippin Gym, Ridgeway versus Otto Eldred at 6 o'clock. Jess Quinn and I will have that game. That'll be followed by Carn City and Clarion Limestone. I think that's at 7:30. And then there's some championship games. The 4A championship games moved up to Thursday because of the potential for winter weather. And then you have Super Saturday coming up, 5 games starting at noon with the 3A girls sub-regional between that Carn City Kane and winner versus the Westinghouse Chestnut Ridge winner. And should be a lot of fun on Saturday. 5 games all day long. Don't know if we'll broadcast any of them. It's $300 a game. I'm still in business to make a little bit of money,
right?
Maybe not a lot, but a little bit. But somebody will broadcast. Somebody will be dumb enough to shell that money out, I guess, at the end of the day. And, maybe that'll be me. Maybe I'll be dumb enough to shell that money out at the end of the day. Not sure yet. I mean, if somebody comes to me and offers me like $1,000 to do one game at $300, yeah, sure. I'm not. That's good business, right?
Right, definitely.
So, never say never.
I mean, people can, if they're not broadcast, always go down and see because it is going to be a great day.
Yeah, $8 to get in as an adult for the whole day. 5 games, $8, $4 if you're a kid.
Yeah,
I mean that's not even $1 a game.
No,
you can't beat that. You just can't beat that in today's economy.
Right.
I mean that's insane pricing. But should be a fun day of basketball. Jeff Quinn and I will be there. You'll be there, I'm going to guess.
Yep.
We'll all do it. We'll at least give you some live updates as part of the Janney Montgomery Scott. If we're not doing any live games, we'll do some live update stuff from there too. So it should be a lot of fun. Always is a lot of fun. All those years I used to do the book in the public address announcing for those games for a long time. I'll tell you what, it's a long day, but those days always seem to like you blink and it's like go from 11 o'clock till like 10 o'clock at night. And you can't believe that it's gone.
Yep.
Anyhow, we looking forward to that. Also, I'm going down to Winburn with Rich Rhodes on Thursday. Brookville's boys playing Bedford in a sub-regional. Both those teams have already moved into the state playoffs, but Brookville wins. They get a home state playoff game. That's a big deal. You remember they won on their home court twice, including to go to the state championship game 2 years ago. And that team is really playing well. But folks, that'll do it for us here at Brockway High School. Thanks for joining us on another edition of the Janney Montgomery Scott in Clarion QR Code Coaches Chalkboard Show. For Steve Buttery, I'm Chris Rossetti saying good night